What's up YouTube? Shamu Aquatics here, bringing you guys another video. As you guys know, I do not suffer from multiple tank syndrome, MTS for short. Instead, I have OBATS, one big ass tank syndrome. And right now, with my 240 gallon planted aquarium, we are currently in the now what stage of this tank. So it is pretty much set up the way I want it. It is fully stocked, in my opinion. You guys are probably thinking like, oh, you have plenty of room for more fish, especially with this part of the tank pretty much being deserted and all the fish congregating over here. But to me, I have enough fish. So yeah, with it being fully stocked and pretty much set up the way I've wanted it, there's really nothing else to do with this tank. Meaning, not going to be getting new fish for a while. Not really planning on changing anything in here because I have no more ideas left. And the downside to being a good fish keeper who takes care of his fish properly is the fact that fish don't die that often on you, which means that there's no room for more fish. So now I'm living a life of doing maintenance on the tank and feeding the fish, and that's about it. Everything pretty much stays the same in here for several months straight. And that's why this hobby can get kind of stale and boring sometimes, especially if you only have one tank. But I've seen people with multiple tanks and they still get kind of bored because their tanks are all just pretty much staying the same and nothing's really going on. Fish are just living out their lives. Now, I would like to add more fish to this tank, but I am currently overrun with a million friggin' roseline sharks, aka denison barbs, in here. And a ground total, including these little golden ones, I have a total of 25 roseline sharks in here. And some of these I was not, oh, now they're chasing each other around. Big dude's being a bully. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to keep half of these guys, but as soon as I posted in Facebook groups that I upgraded to this big 8-foot, 240 gallon tank, I immediately had people that were local to me reaching out and asking me if I wanted their denison barbs or roseline sharks. You're gonna probably hear me call them denison barbs, roseline sharks. Denison barbs and roseline sharks, same thing, same fish, multiple different names. And yeah, I agreed to take them. But the last batch I picked up was supposed to be a surprise for a local fish store owner, so they could go in his display tank in the middle of his store. Well, I went and picked them up, and when I saw how big they were, especially this 6.5-inch monster I have, I was just like, oh, I am definitely keeping these. These are mine. Because what are the chances that I will ever have a roseline this big again? 6.5 inches is unusually large for this species. I'm very lucky if I ever have them grow past 5.5 inches. So yeah, that was not an opportunity I was gonna pass up. Typically I'm against buying fully grown fish, but I got these guys for dirt cheap. God knows how old this guy is though. The previous owner said that they were a year old. I have a hard time believing that, but yeah. Saw how big they were. I immediately changed my mind about donating them to a local fish store for their display tank. And I just said, nah, these are mine, taking them home. And now I'm stuck with 25 of them. But whatever. The reason why I am kind of annoyed with this though is because I would like to add other species of fish to this tank. I would definitely like to have more rainbow fish, especially the bozeman eyes and They're turquoise. I definitely need more turquoise. I'm not really planning on getting more of the dwarf neons. I don't really like them that much. But I definitely want more bosemon eyes and more turquoise rainbows. But I don't have any freaking room because of a million friggin' roselines taking over my tank. And before you guys ask, no, I am not going to go in there and catch some of them for you and send them to you, because it is extremely catchy. It is extremely sketchy catching these guys. The moment a net goes into the tank, they are flying all over the place, launching themselves out of the tank, crashing into stuff. I am not going to risk killing some of these roselines trying to catch them, while at the same time trying to avoid catching certain ones, because to me, no, they do not all look the same. But there are specific ones that I definitely will not give away, while there would be some that I would consider getting rid of, but it is extremely difficult to catch them, especially if you're just trying to catch certain ones. So nope, not going to risk killing some of them. Not going to spend all that time and energy trying to catch them, because they are very, very fast. So nope, just going to let everything in here pretty much age out before I end up getting anything new. And with how I take care of my aquariums, I already know that's going to take a pretty long time, unless something catastrophic happens. But yeah, if I keep taking good care of this tank, continuing with the maintenance, feeding my fish and all that, most of these fish are going to live for another several years easily. And yeah, that's why I say we are in the now what stage of this tank. Not much is really going to be changing. I'm probably not going to have very many update videos. And no, I'm not going to do an update video if a little itty bitty Cory or a little Tetra dies. Because, like, it's not that I'm, like, trying to hide the truth. Like, if I lose a Cory or a little Tetra, it's like, to me, those little fish don't really have that much, like, sentimental value to me, I guess. So, like, if I were to post a video saying, like, oh, one of my Serpe Tetras died, that's today's update, like, people are just gonna be like, okay, a Tetra died, like, who cares? But yeah, like, videos in the meantime will just be like topics, whatever I can come up with, or if I just see something that I like in here, and I'll just post it just to post it or whatever. But there's not really going to be very many updates for a while, unless something bad happens. And I know some of you are probably saying, oh, you say you're not going to buy more fish. Oh yeah, a lot of people say that. That's what they all say. Well, I'm pretty committed to it. There's been many times where local fish store owners would go a long time without seeing me. And they're like, where have you been? Do you not support our store anymore? And I'm just like, no, my tank's just full. Like, nothing against you. I just don't have any space for anything else. But who knows? Maybe I'll get bored and completely rescape the tank if I could come up with an idea. This manzanita wood is kind of getting old-fashioned for me. I need a new style, but we'll see what the future brings. But in the future, I definitely plan to only keep 12 to 15 of these roselines, no more than that. 25 of them. I do like the super school, but after this, that's it. Just normal school of like 12 to 15. So I'll have more room for more rainbow fish and different types of tetras. I really like my Congo tetras. But I will say, these Congo tetras, they are psycho. They're not doing it on camera. They'll never do it with a camera pointing at them. But lots of times they just zoom around the tank chasing each other. These tetras will be tetras, you know. But yeah. It's what it's like having OBATs. One big ass tank syndrome. Things can go stale pretty quickly. Especially if you are a good fish keeper and hardly ever have fish die. I did lose one of my emerald Corys this past week, but like I said, like, okay, it's a Cory. But that Cory that died on me, I'm not sure, because I had 2 emerald Corys. One of them was over 11 years old and the other one was I got last year. And I have no idea which one of the 2 died because they both looked identical to each other. But yeah, I guess that would be today's little update on my 240-gallon tropical paradise. But anyway, don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.